Alright, good evening everybody, and now it's time for my America's Got Talent Final Four review, and I can tell you this is the final review for Season 6, and the four acts that so our final four acts had performed, so there was even one special guest and a few other things that happened too along the way, so let's get started with the review. Okay, first up was Landau Eugene Murphy Jr., and this time he went back to Sinatra, Frank Sinatra, his idol, and he sang, and luckily he saved the best for last. Last in terms of songs, because Landau sang Frank Sinatra's song, My Way, which many Sinatra fans consider My Way to be the best Sinatra song ever performed. Of course, Sinatra didn't write that song. The person that actually wrote the song was Paul Anka, which you may remember. Anka was also a singer too when he even had a couple duets with Odia Coates in the 70s. But for Landau to sing the Sinatra song My Way with the orchestra, I think it was fantastic indeed. And Howie Mandel said, "I think you just sealed the $1 million thing." Well, he could be one of those acts to win it all, but we'll see. The others even all liked it too. It was fantastic. So I think to say the best Sinatra song near the end, I think that is a great move indeed. So, Landau, 10 out of 10. Then next up after that was Team iLuminate, and they were dancing and glowing in the dark again, but this time they even had a larger display. It was even more complex, and my father said, "There's your $1 million act right there." And you know what? I think he's right. Right, and the judges all impressed too. They even stood up after the end of the performance and really gave him a thing. And Piers even mentioned about the poor Kami mentioned. He said, "You're what this country is all about. Not just what the show is, but even the whole country." So, I think Team iLuminate could be bringing America back to what it would be before the recession began. I think Team iLuminate has really been the big act, and when they perform, they just keep stepping it up all the time. So as it says, it keeps getting better and better. And I don't think they'll ever go down anytime soon. So, Team iLuminate, I think that was the best we saw of the acts we saw tonight. So, Team iLuminate, perfect 10, and I have a feeling as I keep saying, they're gonna be the act to win it all. I can tell. I'm gonna be voting for them, in which I'm gonna use all 10 of my votes on them. By the way, I haven't voted yet. I didn't want to do it now because the lines are busy. Hopefully, I'm getting through. Anyway, then after that, we did have a little bit of a break, because then, America's Got Talent Season 2 winner Terry Fator. Fator came back onto the stage, a great ventriloquist, which, by the way, we do have a DVD of Terry Fator's live Vegas show, and I think he's been the best of the Got Talent winners that is successful in headlining a show in Vegas, so it's great. In fact, my parents even did see Terry Fator live at the Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom in Hampton, New Hampshire, well, probably back in 2008 or 8, I believe. But either way, his ventriloquism was great. He brought Terry brought his puppet Julius, and he said he'd bring some soul. He first sang a brief bit of John Denver's 1975 #1 hit song, "Thank God I'm a Country Boy," which isn't soul, but then he started to go more soulful and sang Bill Withers' 1971 hit song, "Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone," a great classic. By the way, Withers had a Billboard #1 hit too in July of '72 with that song "Lean on Me." You remember, because as he sings, "We all need somebody to lean on," as if you know your Bill Withers lyrics. Of course, yeah, it was but of course it's great for Julius to sing "Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone." That's why Bill Withers was so successful in the 70s. And for Fator, his Vegas show has a lot of ventriloquists. Hopefully Fator can get more ventriloquist puppets. Maybe there should be at least one that should at least do singing impersonations of one of the Beatles. I would love to see that someday, because But whatever, Terry Fator, now this has to be one of the best non-competition performances I had ever seen. That's why it's so fantastic. Then back to the competition. Next up was Pop Life, and they did a medley of 2 songs by Queen, which they did We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, which we know they are popular sports anthems for those Queen fans who attend sporting events. Well, because We Will Rock You is all the hand claps and stumps, and We Are the Champions usually done normally when a major league team wins the biggest championship of all, whether it's the World Series, Stanley Cup, NBA Finals, or the Super Bowl. Of course, their performance was just okay. They didn't get buzzed, though. In fact, the judges didn't even buzz any of the acts at all. So Piers was finally had a buzzer-free night. Unfortunately, because the singing wasn't that great, Pop Life only gets 7 out of 10. At least they tried their best, though. Well, at least they didn't get buzzed. Unfortunately, Pop Life's not going to win. And then, after that, before the Silhouettes performed, Nick mentioned that there was a little technical problem, so he ended up showing a couple of montages. First of a montage of some of those memorable bad auditions from the season, as well as having Frank Olivier, and of course, also that karate thing, as well as Alaska Dancing and a couple others. And then after that, there was a little montage of how Nick how funny Nick would be throughout the season. Then after that, the problem was fixed, and last to perform, the Silhouettes. And they did that same Silhouettes thing, but this time they created landmarks of locations from around the world. And for the song they set it to Louis Armstrong's song, What a Wonderful World. I think his best song Louis Armstrong ever did. In fact, it's the second time this season that we've had that song. Because we remember back in the first week of the quarterfinals, Anna Graceman had performed that song live on the piano. Yeah, I do. But anyways, at least Silhouettes, that's had a great time indeed. Of course, so far they're the only act whose duet has not been confirmed yet, because we don't know who's performing with that. But I can tell you, overall, it's a great act. So Silhouettes, 10 out of 10. So I can tell you, in a few more minutes, I'll get to the phone and I'll use all 10 of my votes for the act I want to win. And my pick, the act that I definitely want to win, is definitely, no doubt about it, Team iLuminate. But if they don't win, then my backup choice will either be Landau, Eugene, Murphy Jr., or Silhouettes, because they were great too. Pop Life is not going to win at all. But they had a long road, so they won't be forgotten. But either way, it's going to be, tomorrow night is the big 2-hour finale, which there's going to be a lot of great guests, including duets, which will even include Landau singing with doing a duet with legendary singer Patti LaBelle. You remember? Team iLuminate will be performing a duet with the band Cobra Starship. And of course, finally, Pop Life will also be doing a duet with the great music legend Stevie Wonder. But that's not all. And also, according to Wikipedia, there's also one other performer that'll be coming back too. Because last season's runner-up, and that's right, season 5 runner-up, Jackie Evancho will also be back to perform live. And don't forget, her new CD, Dream With Me, is available in stores now, and even a deluxe edition thing at Target for any of you classical crossover fans. So it'll be great to have Jackie Evancho also return as well, in addition to those free. Overall, it's going to be a big finale, going to be a 2-hour finale, and so be sure to watch it tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time, only on NBC. Don't miss it! Because tomorrow night we will find out they will crown the winner of season 6 of America's Got Talent. So don't miss this finale. Anyways, that's all for this review, and that's all for the reviews of season 6 of America's Got Talent. It's been a great season indeed, and I can't wait to do more Got Talent reviews next year for season 7 in 2012. Oh, But anyways, hope you enjoyed my reviews and hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody, and I'll see you next time.